What if the YouTuber turned boxer you thought was all hype is actually hiding FBI raids, secret businesses, and a past crazier than his knockouts? Jake Paul isn't just a loud headline, he's a walking plot twist. We're revealing 10 shocking facts about Jake Paul that will change the way you see him for good. Smash that subscribe button and let's dive straight in. Fact number 1, raided by the FBI. In one of the most shocking moments of Jake Paul's life, his mansion was raided by the FBI in August 2020. The internet nearly exploded when heavily armed agents rolled up to his Calabasas home in armored vehicles. The raid was related to his involvement in a looting incident at Scottsdale Fashion Square during the George Floyd protests. Though Jake claimed he was merely there to document what was happening, video evidence showed him inside the mall, and he was charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly. However, those charges were later dropped. Still, the FBI wasn't done. During the raid, firearms were confiscated, including one disturbingly placed against a hot tub in the backyard. It raised serious questions about what was really going on behind the scenes of Jake's YouTube empire. No formal charges ever came from the raid, but the event cemented Jake's reputation as someone constantly dancing on the edge of disaster. Fact number 2, earned $45 million in 1 year, mostly from boxing. Most people know Jake Paul as a YouTuber, but he's become a serious heavyweight in the world of boxing, literally and financially. According to Forbes, Jake made a jaw-dropping $45 million in 2021, with the vast majority of it coming from just 3 boxing matches against Ben Askren and 2 against Tyron Woodley. He didn't just win those matches, he dominated the business side. With savvy pay-per-view deals and viral marketing, Jake turned every bout into a money-printing machine. By the end of the year, he was the second highest paid YouTuber behind only Mr. Beast. What's more, he cracked the list of highest paid athletes under 25, sitting right alongside traditional sports icons. Love him or hate him, Jake Paul redefined how influencers make money. Fact number 3, built a social media empire, then watched it crumble. Back in 2017, Jake Paul launched what he called the future of online content. Team 10, a group of young influencers living together in a mansion, churning out viral videos. The concept was genius on paper, creators collaborating daily, boosting each other's clout, and earning big bucks in the process. But within 2 years, the entire thing imploded. Multiple former members accused Jake of manipulating contracts, creating a toxic living environment, and using them for views. There were stories of psychological pressure, financial disputes, and even aggressive confrontations. One former member claimed Jake took 20% of all earnings and gave back little in return. Another said they were pressured to perform dangerous stunts and prank each other to the point of trauma. By 2019, most of the founding members had left, and Team 10 officially shut down in 2020. Jake had built a digital empire only to watch it self-destruct. Fact number 4, partied during the pandemic and faced legal fallout. While the rest of the world was sheltering at home, Jake Paul was throwing massive parties during the COVID-19 pandemic, often with zero safety precautions. Videos emerged of hundreds of guests at his Calabasas mansion, packed shoulder to shoulder with no masks or social distancing. Local officials were outraged. The mayor of Calabasas personally called out Jake's reckless behavior. Jake responded by mocking the backlash. He even told Insider in an interview, "It's time for us to open up. We shouldn't be living in fear." To make matters worse, in 2021, Jake was sued by a landlord after renting a Beverly Hills mansion and throwing another massive, destructive party that allegedly caused over $100,000 in damage. For Jake, partying wasn't just fun, it was rebellion, but it also revealed a disturbing pattern of putting content and clout above public responsibility. Fact number 5, faked a wedding for clicks. In 2019, Jake Paul and fellow YouTuber Tana Mongeau got married in a wild Vegas ceremony live-streamed for millions of fans. There were vows, a wedding cake, a crowd full of influencers, even a $50 pay-per-view stream. But here's the kicker, it wasn't legally binding. There was no marriage license filed. The officiant wasn't legally registered in Nevada, and according to both Jake and Tana later, it was all for fun, content, and of course, views. Tana later admitted the relationship was content-based, while Jake called it lighthearted entertainment. The internet was stunned. Many fans felt betrayed, but for Jake, virality came first, even in matters of the heart. Fact number 6, involved in a crypto scandal. In 2021, Jake Paul promoted a cryptocurrency project called Save the Kids Token, which promised charitable donations to children's organizations. It sounded noble, but ended in disaster. Shortly after launch, the coin crashed in value, leading many to believe it was a pump and dump scheme. Influencers allegedly hyped the coin, sold off their shares immediately, and left fans holding worthless tokens. Jake denied direct involvement, saying he was just paid for promotion and had no control over the coin's performance. But critics pointed out that this wasn't Jake's first crypto controversy. He had previously promoted other coins like Yummy and MILF Token, both of which faced similar crashes. Jake's lack of transparency and due diligence led to widespread backlash, with many fans losing real money and trust. Fact number 7, Disney Channel cut him loose. Jake Paul once lived the dream of every young performer, a starring role on a Disney Channel show. He played Dirk Mann on Bizaardvark, a show about a pair of teenage internet stars. The irony, of course, was perfect, but by 2017, his behavior outside the show had become too controversial. The infamous KTLA news report featuring screaming fans and furious neighbors went viral, exposing his wild lifestyle. Shortly after, Disney announced that Jake would be leaving the show, effective immediately. Jake claimed he left to focus on his personal brand, but insiders suggested he was fired to protect Disney's image. It was a clean break, and the moment Jake went fully rogue. Fact number 8, diagnosed with dyslexia and bullied for it. Jake Paul has spoken openly about his struggles with dyslexia, a learning disorder that affects reading and writing comprehension. Growing up in Ohio, Jake often felt like an outsider in school. He says he was constantly misunderstood by teachers, and classmates would mock him for struggling to read out loud. In one video, Jake shared how he was often labeled as a troublemaker, when in reality, he was just frustrated and embarrassed. He said that his experience with dyslexia shaped his determination, pushing him to succeed in untraditional ways. For many fans with learning disabilities, Jake's story is a reminder that challenges don't define you, and success is still possible, even if the path looks different. Fact number 9, his pranks got him demonetized. Jake built his brand on crazy, risky stunts, but eventually, YouTube had enough. Videos where he set furniture on fire, pranked strangers, or created dangerous situations led to increasing scrutiny from YouTube. Parents, watchdog groups, and even teachers complained that Jake was a bad influence on kids, and considering his audience was mostly under 18, that was a big problem. By 2018, Jake started facing demonetization on several videos and had to change his content strategy. The platform's pressure was clear: clean up or lose money. That push may have played a role in Jake's pivot to boxing, where he could still thrive without risking YouTube's wrath. Fact number 10 says he'll run for president in 2032. Yes, this is real. Jake Paul has said multiple times that he plans to run for president of the United States, and he's dead serious. In a 2022 tweet, he declared, "I'm running for president one day." He even suggested he'd run with his brother, Logan, as VP. Jake will be eligible in 2032 when he turns 35, the minimum age to run. While many people brushed it off as a joke, Jake has doubled down on his political ambitions in interviews. He's talked about fixing education, corruption, and even gun control. Wild? Yes. Unbelievable? Maybe not. We've seen celebrities make the jump before. Who's to say Jake won't actually try? From FBI raids to boxing glory, fake weddings to presidential ambitions, Jake Paul isn't just a YouTuber, he's a walking, talking headline. He's been loved, hated, canceled, and crowned, all before turning 30. Now the real question is, what's next? Which fact surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we're reading everything. And before you go, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss our next big drop